Over the course of the past couple of decades, animal actors have rocked the Hollywood scene. But perhaps none more than the legendary felid Mr. Mittens. Mittens started out like any other young kitten, pawing at yarn and prowling the local tall grass.
Oh, Mr. Mittens is the best kitty in the whole world. Oh, but one day I came home and Mommy had made a pie and it was sitting on the table and Mr. Mittens was eating the pie and I said, Mr. Mittens, you get out of that pie right now, mister. And you know what he did? That little rascal, he turned around and pooped right in the pie. I didn't eat any more pie after that. What a waste of pie.
Mittens discovered his career in acting while he was still a kitten, as many animals do. A local farmer and film buff, Doug Milligan, saw the potential in Mittens right away and sought to manage his career.
I have never seen a cat look like that. He had this, cat-like charisma that was able to subdue an audience with just a glance. One day, I was putting out his milk, and he just looked at me. And I thought, is that a cat? Or is that Mickey Rooney? I'm still not sure to this day. I guess it's a cat.
Mittens signed a contract to work on the hit 70s television show Feline in the Family. The talented young actor began working on several other small projects, and he, along with the famous chicken actor Dr. Cluckingham, wrote and produced the comedy Mangy McGee and the Maltese Chicken. Minnie Deebs, the self-appointed biggest fan of Mr. Mittens, remembers his early work very well.
One time, I ordered some used litter of his from eBay. I think Mr. Mittens is sexier than Tom Selleck. Magnum P.I. mine, but one time for Halloween, I went as Mr. Mittens. Sometimes I use the litter box. I guess you could say I'm his biggest fan.
During this time, however, Mittens was introduced to something he would never shake afterwards: catnip. With the success of Mangy McGee and the Maltese Chicken, Mr. Mittens was able to finance his own films.
Oh, Mr. Mittens, he was an absolute joy to work with. Visionary, accurate. Between you and me, he liked the catnip too much. He'd come to work all the time just hyped up and crazy. Sometimes he'd forget what film we were doing. I'd have to show him where the bathroom was. Of course, he used a litter box.
Mr. Mittens did have a slight drug problem, but I could look past that.
One night while at a party, Mittens was arrested for public indecency. The police later found illegal catnip on Mittens, along with 3 cartons of milk. It was a hard time for Mittens. The nightlife became his only recreation. Other partygoers of the time, such as Mittens' close friend, actor and model Viggo Wagner, were concerned.
Mr. Mittens. Oh, I remember him. I had to carry him out of the club every night. Of course, he was a cat. He had gotten trampled on. Bit of mess. He was my muse. He had the shiniest coat. Then he got into the nip. We used to do it together, but it never really did anything for me. Mr. Mittens used to give the greatest back rubs.
Wagner, who was big into the pop art scene, made numerous works that celebrated Mr. Mittens. Things were looking up for the young actor, but then, in 1982, Mittens hit rock bottom. On January 1st, right after the big New Year's celebration at Times Square, Mittens said goodbye to his friends and climbed into his Cadillac. It would be the last time anyone would see him alive. Mittens was found later that morning, impaled upon a beach ball. The police found trace amounts of catnip at the scene, and milk was still in his system. Mr. Mittens still lives on today through the thoughts and memories of those who knew him.
Mr. Mittens, good riddance. Commercials, movies, record albums. Did I see any of that money? Not a cent. I have 5 kids. I live in a trailer park, 1 bathroom. And you know what's ironic? I work in a kitty litter factory. It's like poison. I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm gonna miss furry Mickey Rooney.
I can still hear his meow sometimes when I'm falling asleep.
Mr. Mittens isn't dead.